Hello, hello, my friends. How is everyone doing? Happy Wednesday for those that are on this side of the world, and happy, I think, Thursday for those that are on the other side of the world and tuning in. How's everyone doing today? I'm so glad to see all the regular folks here today. I'm glad to see all the new people here today. Okay, guys, I've got a couple things to tell you. Last night, I was messing around on YouTube and I told the members that I would get on my business and upload some new emojis and emoticons, things like that. So I did. And let me just let's see if they work here. I put up one interesting one. And oh, in the process of while I was doing that, friends, I don't know how I did it, but some of you guys were gifted free memberships. So I think 5 of you guys have a free membership to the channel. And yeah, I think that's good for a month. So yeah, 5 of you have that. Just want to let you know. And oh, look, it works because one of the emojis is, let me see if I can get it up here. Oh, you can't see it, but for those in the chat can see it. It's Megan's feet. Oh God, I am a petty Betty today. I am so petty. Look at this, feet all in the chat, everyone. Y'all are posting feet. We got that. We also got Harry staring off, looking blitzed out of his tree. I've got that for you guys. Also, I've put some interesting codes for them too. Some of you guys might see them. I've done some more of Harold being blitzed out of his tree since he loved to tell us all about his use of illegal substances. I thought, why not share some photos or some emojis of him looking just right out of it? How funny is that? I had to put one of Catherine, of course, because how could I not? So I put this lovely one of Catherine, but we all are having fun here. I like this one of Megan's face where she did her own makeup, so she looked like a complete clown. The code for that emoji, my friends, is grifter. Guys, I told you I was being super petty. Like, I don't know. I was just like, let's just be funny. Let's have some fun here. It's 2024. It's the new year. And the topic that we are going to speak about today is Cell Block 6 Doria. Let's talk about her. So, what I had to do, my friends, is that I had to go and pull out my old, dusty laptop, dust it off, plug it in, cross my fingers that it turned on, and it did. And I had to boot it up, and I pulled up the old archives and I couldn't find these anymore. So thankfully, these were all saved up on my other computers. So let's talk about this. I thought I should share some of this information. I wanted to do a video about it, but I was like, you know what? I love this whole live experience instead. And I like having to show it here to you instead. And in a video, it's not as fun as doing a live. Let's be honest. It's more fun. You guys seem to be loving the new emojis. I'm seeing feet. Feet everywhere. And hello to the new Miranda Bray. Thank you for becoming a member, my dear. That's so kind of you. I appreciate you. Okay, guys. So I first wanted to bring up the fact that let me start from here. I didn't make any notes or anything, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. So pardon me if it is a little bit scattered, but I'm sure you guys will get the point. Oh God, there's feet everywhere. Oops, I accidentally muted myself. I wanted to start with this. Now, I always found this photo to be very, very shocking. Can you guys see this? Look at Harry. He is just blitzed out of his mind. I don't remember seeing Harry like this. Here, let's just zoom in some more here. Sorry, you guys. I know you guys are just going to be like, ew, please don't do this to us. But look at this guy's face. His pupils are like pinpricks. And it's so crazy that, well, he's looks a mess like this when Doria's around. But that's just an just what I'm witnessing from looking at this photo is that the last time I've seen Harry like this was, well, when he was drunk and stumbling out of clubs. And it's crazy because I haven't seen him like that since. And when Meghan has come around, I've found more pictures of him looking whacked out of his tree. You see him completely vacant, nothing there, nothing at all, completely lost. But I just wanted to share that before we get into things. Hold on, I'm trying to, okay. So, let me get that disgusting thing off the screen. Yuck. You guys are saying it's called control. Hello, new member. Oh God, I'm so bad. Un Apicora, my apologies. I am so terrible with names, but thank you for becoming a member. Oh God, my apologies, really. But okay, I always found it funny that I'm glad that you find that funny. My apologies, my dear. But okay, I've always found it funny that Doria had something to say about the royal family being, racist. I told my daughter, you better watch out because this is going to be about race. And this is the same woman who Meghan claimed that I never experienced being a black woman ever until I came to the UK. And I think we remember all that, right, guys? And then I always found it funny that they had this whole race element, but yet Meghan Markle was married and always dated white men. Doria was married to Thomas Markle, a white man. So, in my opinion, part of me kind of thinks, okay, Doria is the racist who can't stand her own kind. That's just my opinion on what I see. That's just what I'm saying. Hi, Sandy South. Thank you for becoming a member, dear. I appreciate you. Thank you. Letice, how did I know you changed your promo? Oh, that's funny. So we know that Meghan and her mother had this thing about race, basically. And I always found that interesting because when you look at photos of Doria, you never see her around any black people like herself or anything. But then when I looked at the wedding photos, remember this photo? You see Doria just clutching onto King Charles's arm here. There's a very big difference here. Look at Camilla, and her arm is just resting on King Charles's arm, right? It's just resting on there. Let's see if I can zoom in some more. How do I do this? Is it this button? There we go. Haha, I figured it out. I'm so smart. SMRT. And yes, I know I spelled it wrong. That was the point of the joke. So getting back onto the topic here, you see here, Camilla's arm is just resting on Charles's arm. And then you have Doria. She is clutching this man's arm. Look at the fabric around Charles's arm and his tuxedo. Just holding on to this man's arm for dear life. Camilla's just comfortably rested, just walking normally. And she is just, and this is the person who she claimed that, oh, they're going to make everything about race. Meh. Like a couple witches. Elizabeth Besco, you say Doria was only looking for money. Attaching to a white man gave panache to the grifters. Yeah, you're completely right. And this will all come up. And yeah, Maureen, you called it another Markle claw. The OG Markle claw, we'll call it. The OG Markle claw. Oh, I'm so funny. God, what got into me today? That's hilarious. So there was this. there was this instance. And then there was, I remember when they were in, I think it was New York. They were in New York. Hold on, let me just go back to the wedding and share this real quick. We had Doria reaching out to hold King Charles's hand. Now, if you thought some man was a racist, would you be reaching out for their hand, wanting to grab it? I love your Doritos voice. Thank you, Joanna. That's kind of you. But look, like everyone's faces in the background. Nobody cares about this wedding. Nobody looks happy. Nobody looks impressed. Nobody cares. It's like everyone's faces almost look like they're at a funeral, not a wedding. Nobody is happy. Call it the Raglan Claw. Call it the Raglan Claw. That's a good one. The Raglan Claw. That's a really good one. So there was that photo too. But then also when we go to New York, I remember, where's this photo? I don't know if you guys saw this. Look at how tight Meghan's mom is holding the hand of the bodyguard here. Look at, she's holding his hand. Now, why do you need to be holding this white man's hand? Why aren't you holding the hand of the black man behind you? What's the problem with him? He's obviously a bodyguard there too. But no, Doria has to be seen with the white guy. A part of me thinks that internally, Doria and Meghan are the real racists who just can't stand being around people who are black. That's why they're always surrounding themselves with white people while playing the race card. Katie, I see that you agree. The claw of an ex-con. Samantha Mustard McDowell calls it the racist Ragland reach. Look, y'all, there's almost 1,000 of you here. There's 978 of you here. Make sure you hit that like button so that YouTube knows that I'm here holding alive about Cell Block 6 Doria. And any sugars that are in here in the chats, come on in. I welcome you to watch this history lesson about Doria. Milena says, yep, has Dorito had kids with a black man? Nope. No, not at all. Nope. But continuing on from there. So I remember a story. Now remember, I had to go back into the vault to grab this. And I just found it very, very suspicious when it first came out. Let me pull it up. I'm trying to get this from another computer, so I hope I don't screw anything up here. And Miranda, yes, Meghan is her only child, apparently. That's what they say. Samantha McCarthy says mother and daughter are both grifters. Yeah. So I remember this story, and this was from the Mirror. And that's Tom Markle Jr. there. That's Meghan. That's Doria with the steely face. You've got Doria's father, Alvin Ragland, their aunt Sandra, and this is their grandmother, Jeanette. I think that's right. Okay. And then this story came out back in 2019. And it said that Meghan Markle's family tragedy after grandfather's death in freak accident. And when I first read that, I was like, oh, hey, Paula, great to see you. I'm not watching this screen, so I'm missing a lot of comments here. But hi, thanks for tuning in, my dear. And if I miss anything, let me know, okay? So I found this whole, what is it? This entire title very, very suspicious because it rang almost like Meghan Markle's tragedy when her dog got into a freak accident and he broke both of his legs. Remember that, Bogart? The original story that we heard was that Meghan Markle, and you really have to dig deep for these stories because they have been wiped. The stories have been changed multiple times, but the original story was when Meghan Markle was away at work on Suits or whatever. She got a phone call and her dog Bogart was in a tragic accident and broke both of his front legs. Now, I don't know how Alice sings, thank you very much. I have a feeling that this video might get demonetized for what I'm saying, but it's all good. The truth needs to always come out, and people need to be reminded of what the original stories were before they got changed. So thank you. Make sure you hit the like button while you're here, guys. That's an easy and super free way to just support the channel and get it out further out into the algorithm. Yes, guys, you guys see what I'm saying. Too many freak accidents. A lot of accidents happen. So this is what first got my wheels turning. And obviously, I'm going to skip some parts of this story, but I'm going to try and, after the live, post these links onto the description box below. Hopefully you guys can get to it, but most of the time, like, I had to go through multiple different VPNs to get down to these stories back then, and then I just saved them. So I don't know if they'll still be there in the present time as today, but we can try, and I'll put all the links down there, but let me keep going. So the story was that Meghan adored her grandfather, and it's always like that. Meghan adores these people, but he died in 2011 in a freak accident outside the LA home he shared with daughter Doria. Now that's the story that they're spinning. The Duchess, then 29, was almost 3,000 miles away in Toronto filming TV series Suits when the tragedy happened. Alvin, 82, had been walking his dog on a sunny March lunchtime when he tripped over the animal's leash after it got tangled around his ankles. Now think about that. You would really need that leash to be tied up around your ankles. Now let me go to, I think we all remember what Meghan's father's house looks like, but let me see if you guys don't remember. I think I have a photo here. Let me see if I can open it in a different tab so all of this doesn't pop up. Okay, so let me share this tab with you guys here. Stop screen. So this was their house. Very flat. Okay, I'm just setting the picture for you guys so you guys can get a better idea. It's a nice little house. It looks like a bungalow type house. I don't see there to be a second level to it, but it's a nice house, and it looks like there maybe is a step, a little tiny step here, but here's the home. Now, let me go back to the story. Oh, where was the link? I have so many pages here to share. Okay, here it was. So Alvin had been walking his dog when he tripped over the animal's leash after it got tangled around his ankles. He was found unconscious by neighbors just 200 feet from his front door. We saw the photo of the house. Just 200 feet from the front door, and rushed to the hospital, where he passed away 9 days later. A coroner's report seen by the Daily Mail stated, according to his daughter, and his daughter being Doria, neighbors found the deceased lying in the street at approximately 1200 hours on 3/3/11. Okay, so was he from his front door or in the street? Now that's a little bit of a difference, but okay. And it says that the deceased had apparently been walking his dog when he tripped, and the leash was found wrapped around one of his ankles. How do you trip when you have a leash wrapped around only one of your ankles? I don't understand. Margie M, sorry. Says, very suspicious. Great convo, Mole. I feel like this needed to be revisited. There's been so many weird stories and stuff, and we need to talk about this. We need to be reminded. Kids Irrelevant says, what kind of freak accident can break the front? I don't know. Too many weird accidents happening. But I thought we should just speak about this, but let's keep going here. So where's my page I'm sharing? So Alvin, okay, the deceased had been apparently walking his dog when he tripped and the leash was found wrapped around one of his ankles. Alvin was found to have bleeding on the brain. He underwent surgery but never regained consciousness and died on March 12th. So he passed away 9 days later. His death was ruled an accident. A family source told the Daily Mail Meghan loved her grandfather very much and he absolutely loved her, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Now, there was something very interesting. There was something very, very interesting. I'm just trying to find it here because you know how they always fill up these articles with a bunch of nonsense. They basically say about how he spent his Sundays at an LA market selling an eclectic collection of antiques, but because his prices were too damn high, he wouldn't sell anything. But he was there mostly because of he was there just to hang out and talk to friends, and he was really a nice guy. Everyone who speaks about Meghan's father speaks that he was a nice guy. Everyone says the same. Some folks thought that he was homeless because of his vehicle was like some old clankety thing, but he was a humble man. And that's crazy because it shows that Meghan's Markle's grandfather was a good man. Meghan Markle's father, she had all these good men around her, but yet it only takes one bad seed to just turn you rotten. And that seed just happens to be Doria, in my opinion. But let me share with you what I got and we will keep going. So that was the story that they had. That was the original story that was put out in 2019 that was the accident. And you're just like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting and kind of strange. And then I remember, I think it was in 2020 here, we get a story about Doria, which was very strange. I'm just going to fast forward to 2020 and then I'm going to take it back because taking it back is where I had to pull out my old laptop and grab all this information. And I got to give 100% thanks to, if it wasn't for saving the stuff that Wally had talked about back in the day, I wouldn't have this. So all of this is full credit to Wally, my friends, because Wally was the first person who spoke about this. She was the one who had troves and troves of evidence, and Meghan Markle was so threatened by this woman, just a woman who was sharing her opinions on what was going on. Meghan Markle was so threatened by Wally that she had to sick Christopher Boozy onto her and destroy her, get her channel taken down, and have the entire thing terminated. There are some old things you can find, but not the really good, juicy stuff. And this video basically is for, it's kind of like redeeming Yankee Wally in a way, if you think about it, because she was the one that got us onto this. She was the one that opened our eyes to this. And if it wasn't for her, well, I wouldn't be sitting here either, because it was her that said, if anyone, others should be opening up channels. And I was like, you know what? She's right. There needs to be more of us to have channels. So yeah, Wally, wherever you are, I hope you are listening to this, and I hope that you feel a little bit vindicated that the truth is coming out and you were right all along. I know Wally is on X and I haven't seen her on WhatsApp, and she has a Rumble and everything, but she, you know her, she likes to disappear, go off the grid. But yeah, I hope she feels a bit vindicated. So let me continue here. So this article came out in 2020. And it was about how Doria is the steely force behind Megxit. And Meghan Markle's mother emerges as a silent influence on her daughter and Prince Harry's decision to seek financial independence in North America. Okay, so they spin it as Doria has become very close to Prince Harry. blah, blah, blah. She was famously photographed sitting by herself in a pew at the royal wedding. No, that is not a good look. That has always been a massive, massive red flag to me. But so they basically regurgitate the stuff. And then this is funny that they actually put this in. The woman who instilled in her daughter from a young age the motto, don't give the milk away for free or don't do anything for nothing, has become close to Prince Harry. Yikes. If if I would be okay, I'm raising a little one. I would be teaching him about those kinds of women and to stay the hell away from them because those women are just trouble. So, that right there gives you an idea of what kind of person Doria Ragland is. Now it says that Meghan has always trusted her completely. I don't know how that's possible when your mother was missing for most of your life, but okay, sure. Let's paint Doria as Saint to Cell Block 6 Doria, the woman that Meghan Markle trusts. Now that tells you a lot about Meghan Markle herself. That tells me that instead of trusting a man with honest and honorable values like Thomas Markle, she wants to become somewhat like her mother who does things quickly. So let's go ahead. So, as I was reading about this garbage that they had in here, they talked about Doria's home, the yellow painted terracotta tiled LA home, and how she worked as a yoga teacher and blah, 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 and how she took a yoga class. And they go into the history about Doria. And that's what I found interesting. So it says, born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1956 to Jeanette, a nurse, and Alvin, an antiques dealer, Doria was still a baby when the family moved west to LA in pursuit of the American dream. Alvin, a charismatic man described as catnip to women, sold knickknacks from the boot of his car, but later had his own antiques shop. Although he never made much money because he was always reluctant to part ways with his treasures. Now, I never heard that he had his own antique shop. I always heard that he went to an antique swap meet. This is now a part of, right? Rewriting history, making Meghan Markle's family sound a little bit better than what they actually were because she was embarrassed by them. That's what it is. She was embarrassed by them. And then further on, hold on. Further on, it says his death in March 2011 at the age of 82 was a freak accident. He tripped on his dog's leash and hit his head on the pavement. Now, that wasn't said earlier, right? It was said that the neighbors found him 200 yards away from his door, unconscious. And then Doria told the coroner, or the other report said that Doria said that he was found with a dog leash around a single ankle. Okay, so let's remember that. After his passing, Doria found thousands of pounds worth of gold coins hidden in his suit pockets. What? Alvin left his home in the middle-class Black neighborhood of Windsor Hills to Doria and her sister Sandra. Sandra? Who's Sandra? I remember Doria had a brother. I don't remember no Sandra. But this is all about rewriting history. And then it says Doria would buy out her sister, leaving her with a mortgage of around $100,000. Okay. So this is the other story that I was like, what the hell? What a crock of BS. What a crock of BS. So let me go on to somewhere else. Because that was just like, when I read that, I was like, what a load of BS. They're like, I don't understand. Now they are just rewriting history. They just want to put out fake news. And that's what Harry and Meghan they like to do. That's why they are so obsessed with being the ones in charge of social media and censorship, because they want to flood the media with their BS stories and lies. That's just my opinion. This is why I have a whole, these are all just allegations and everything. What do I know? These are all just what I think. Now, to bring in the past, to bring in the vault and what I have from the past. And here it goes, my friends. You ready for this? So back in the day, there was a blog, and it was called newsroyals.com. And they had published something after that BS story in the Daily Mail, which revised how Doria had come to having the home. This came up afterwards, and I have this saved. And let me read this to you, because this will open up your eyes, my friends. And then I have a couple more things to add, because there were some things that were added. And I think the many people that listen to Yankee Wally will remember Yankee Wally used to always reference an account on Quora by someone named Crystal Martin. And I think the account was Montecito Smoke and Mirrors. I think that was, I'm going all off memory right now. And guys, if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. Okay, let me know completely in the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Molly coming in with the receipts. Well, we had to talk about this. Wow, my first thought about the gold coins, lies about covering. Yeah, that's what I thought so too. Like anything that, yeah, I have never heard, because if her father had gold coins, his vehicle was, people thought he was a homeless man who lived in his vehicle. It was like a banged up pile of crap. Like it was a junker, basically. I'm not trying to degrade the man or anything, but the vehicle was an absolute POS. Now, if this man had hundreds of thousands of dollars of gold coins just sitting in his pocket, you think, and the type of man that he was, you think he wouldn't have his family in, like, I don't know, a better position or something? These are all just this is all just me putting things together. This is just me using common sense and using my brain. Sandra, gold coins, I have a bridge to sell. Yeah. If anyone believes that Doria found gold coins, I have a bridge in Chunga Changa to sell with multiple penguins up there. And these are penguins that poop out gold eggs. And you will become a multimillionaire 10 times over. Just email me at MeghansMole at gmail.com and I'll give you more information. No, guys, I'm kidding. But I'm just saying, who would believe that? Look, you guys say you remember it. You guys say you remember it. She found dirty money. Jamba, I see. You are correct about Crystal and Smoke and Mirrors in Montecito. Go fake yourself, May. Yeah, Go Fake Yourself was another one who was awesome. Loved it. Incredible. Okay, so let me get into the story. I've rambled off enough. So this page had said, have you noticed that unlike Meghan Markle, whose name is already heard from every iron, we know almost nothing about her mother, Doria Ragland? Which is true. To this day, we know absolutely nothing about her. We know that she is a yoga instructor and social worker, and she divorced Meghan's father when she was just 6 years old, and that the future Duchess of Sussex lived with her father from the age of 11 until she went to university. But where was her mother at the time? There's almost no information about the Duchess's mother in the press, so we decided to fill in this gap. Doria was born to an antiques dealer and a nurse in Cleveland. In addition to her, there were other siblings in the family, as well as half-siblings from her father's first marriage. Doria grew up in a simple family and went to a very ordinary school. She was pretty enough, and she had a lot of boyfriends, and they were all very older than her. Now, that whole don't give away the milk for free, and Doria was always looking for someone to kind of take care of her, from what you get from the stories about her. And let's continue. She says the child There were rumors about her affair with a high school teacher. Now, this was Doria. Apparently, she had an affair with a high school teacher, and the consequence of this was an early pregnancy and childbirth, but the child was placed in foster care. Then, when her parents divorced and her father remarried to a girl of Doria's age, and she got along well both with her father and with all her siblings. Now, that's got to be kind of a mind F, right? Your father divorces your mother and ends up marrying a woman that's almost your age. That's pretty crazy. You guys are saying lost the V at 13. Oh my God, you guys are messy in the comments. Hi, B, I see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, let me continue here. After graduating from high school, Doria did not go to university. She occasionally worked part time at a hair salon, and soon one of the brothers helped Doria move to Hollywood. So she began working in the dressing rooms of one of the new studios, but continued to dream of a luxurious bohemian life with eternal parties. So that tells you what kind of person she was. She was the type, she wanted to be a free soul and a free spirit. You know, the type that would, back in those days, go and get ripped off of LSD and have orgies on an island somewhere. That's just my opinion. And it seems like that's the kind of life that Doria was into. She wanted to be the type of woman who just wanted to party and not work and have life, be a grifter. Let's say that. Be a grifter. Have other people pay for her existence, kind of like what Meghan Markle does. Let me continue here. Doria was not going, oh, where am I here? The bohemian, okay. But she continued to dream of a luxurious bohemian life with eternal parties, and once she was lucky, the makeup artist of one of the series got sick. Doria was in the newsroom at the time and she was urgently called to the next pavilion. Doria was not going to be a simple makeup artist making up stars. She tried her best to wedge herself into the actors' parties, so she was a social climber too. Okay? And not into the team of the film crew. She had a specific and well defined goal. Ed O'Neill, the future star of the series Married with Children. So Doria had set her eyes on Ed O'Neill? What? That's crazy. It was said that Doria went head over heels and did not shy away from any means of achieving her goal, soon for it already firmly entrenched in the glories of a huntress with an angelic face. One day, director and producer Jerry Cohen invited Doria to one of the parties at his home, where she met Thomas Markle, who stood up for a young girl when she began to be molested by a tipsy director. Wow. So that gives you an idea of what kind of party she was at. And especially right now with all of the things and the exposure going on in Hollywood, that's crazy. So Thomas Markle stood up for a girl who was, being touched inappropriately by the tipsy director. And that's where Doria met him. Wow, that's crazy. One day, where are we? Thomas Markle, who worked as a lighting director at the studio, a well to do man at the time, his salary was a dizzying $200,000 per year. Yeah, Thomas Markle was making some serious bank. Doria probably saw them, was like, ding, 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 dollar signs, dollar signs. He started to take care of Doria and suppressed rumors of her bad reputation. So Thomas Markle was a suck from the beginning. Thomas Markle, this is why he doesn't say anything about Meghan, is because he's done the same for Doria. That's why we don't hear anything about her either. We don't hear anything about her bad behavior besides like the eternal pot smoking and the partying and stuff. It doesn't go into details. I bet you Thomas Markle could sell an epic best-selling book. Someone says Thomas Markle should have realized he can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Very true. But let me continue. He started to take care of Doria and suppressed rumors of her bad reputation. The girl liked his gentlemanly behavior, but most of all liked the financial situation of the suitor. Doria's father was strongly opposed to his daughter's relationship with Thomas, whom he considered an old libertine. But Doria skillfully manipulated the groom, saying that her father refused to. Okay, guys, listen to this. Get your popcorn ready, okay? Doria skillfully manipulated the groom, being Thomas, saying that her father refused to support her financially and she does not know how to live on because she does not have the means to live. Thomas had fallen in love with this unfortunate and defenseless girl, so he proposed to her. Doria didn't invite the dastardly father to her wedding. Does it remind you of anything? However, unlike her daughter, Doria invited the rest of the family. After the wedding, Doria didn't want to work at a film studio and she persuaded her rich husband to open a travel company for her. She also did not delay the birth of a child, so the future Duchess of Sussex was born. Sounds like history repeating itself with the dimwit, doesn't it, guys? I love how smart you guys are. You guys are seeing exactly what I'm seeing. Okay. So the future Duchess of Sussex was born. So now in the next part, I'll tell you the rest of the story. And this, like, wild, isn't it? Isn't that crazy? You guys better be hitting the like button. There's over 1,600 of you here. So her tactics are just the same old tactics her mother had used to get Thomas Markle. Yep, Anne Con. Mama taught the daughter to the grift. That's exactly true. Schooled by the mother. How many months later after the marriage? I think Meghan was born within 2 months. No, within 2 years. It's almost the same as artificial, right? Not even. Okay, let me get to the second part here. And guys, just remember that this is all, these are not my words or anything. This is all by news. What is this? Newsroyals.com. I had archived this, but this was from 2020. Let me get to the next part. So in the first part, we told you about Doria Ragland and her desire to find a rich husband, which she did. Let's go to the next part. When Meghan was born, she became a little princess for her family. Everyone carried her in their arms. Everyone loved her, and since the family lived well, even by Hollywood standards, she was not denied anything. She had everything she had wanted. But since this article is not about Meghan, Samantha Markle, who promised to release her memoir book, will tell you more about her. And I think that was Diaries of a Pushy Princess. I wish I could have gotten my hands on that thing. Maybe if I contact Samantha, maybe she could have a copy and I could get it off her or buy it off her. That would be pretty cool. But okay, let me get back into this. Let's go here. So let's get back to Doria. She lived in Clover Down, which was still not enough for her, and she began to suggest to Thomas Markle that he was capable of more because he had talent and connections. Funny how Meghan did that the same with Prince Harry, right? At this point, that it was at this point that the troubles in Thomas Markle's life began. Many people have heard that he hit the lottery jackpot, winning an incredible amount of $700. In some sources, the amount varies, but it is still huge. But this money did not bring Thomas happiness because, in fact, he did not win it honestly. Thomas, on the advice of his beloved wife, used connections. Of course, people were suspicious that the TV show Jackpot got a person working on television and even in the same studio where the shooting took place. Communications with the police began, and of course, the friends immediately passed the entire scheme, trying to clear themselves of suspicion. It was during this difficult period of her life that Doria decided to divorce her husband. How nice of her, guys, hey? It's like she saw dollar signs. She was like, "Okay, let's pull this little stunt so we can win this huge amount of money." And it all fits into the whole idea that Doria was a con artist. Isn't that crazy? Is that she caused these problems for Thomas Markle, and the minute shit got rough for him, she was like, "Okay, let's add another pile of misery to his life, and I'm going to divorce you." That's terrible. So Doria decided to divorce her husband. She left and, without waiting for a divorce, filed for alimony, claiming maintenance not only for her daughter, but also for herself. During this period, Thomas Markle began to drink. Ungrateful Doria, to whom Thomas provided a comfortable life, left her husband with debts and criminal cases. She not only sued for alimony, but she also became a witness in his criminal cases. That's terrible, guys. Imagine that. She threw her husband under the bus, and not only did she throw him under the bus, she's riding that bus over him. This is crazy. But remember, this is all from this blog that wrote it. So these are their words. I don't know anything about this, but let me continue on. Oh dear, oh dear. So she became a witness in his criminal cases. In America, close relatives can refuse to testify against their relatives without any consequences for themselves. But for Doria, the father of her daughter was probably not considered a close relative, so she was happy to give evidence in court. But that wasn't even the meanest thing about Meghan's parents' relationship with Doria. During the divorce process, Doria, having hired a lawyer for Thomas's money, demanded sole custody of the child, telling the court that Thomas was an aggressive alcoholic, dangerous for the child. Hold up, I see a bit of foreshadowing of if Harry and Meghan get divorced, guys. This is exactly what Meghan is going to do with Harry. Harry, wake your stupid ass up if you're listening to this, and get yourself on a plane to the UK and file for divorce first, because you stupid idiot, have many times admitted to your drug and alcohol use. You talked about how much alcohol you would drink. You talked about your drug issues, your substance uses. You stupid idiot. She is going to do this to you 110%. And as nobody says, the apple didn't fall from the tree. And thank you for that, nobody. That is very kind of you. Yep, the apple does not fall from the tree. And if this isn't a bit of foreshadowing, my friends, I don't know what is. So, of course, Markle, who is in a terrible depression caused by the loss of his job, reputation, and family, allowed himself to drink too much. And on one of these days, the Board of Trustees conducted an inspection. Of course, their verdict was in the favor of the mother. Doria won all the court cases, and the unemployed Thomas was sent to force dirty work so that he could pay alimony and benefits to the unemployed Doria. The travel company that Thomas Markle opened for Doria with his own money was registered to him, but he did not receive anything from it. Doria did all the business and she received the income, but she was officially unemployed. How does that work? Oh my goodness, you guys. Doria began to enjoy herself. She had a good income from a travel agency and received alimony for herself and her daughter. Doria and Meghan often went on foreign tours, spent holidays on the islands, and visited expensive restaurants. Damn it. I have an old article, and I think I'll do a video where I'll talk about this, because I have an article where Meghan gave an interview, and this was like back in 2001, 2002, where she spoke about Doria having this travel agency and her mother taking her to all these trips to Mexico and Hawaii. And it ties in with this, and I don't have it on this computer. It's actually in one of my phones that I have to dig up and charge. Oh my God, these are all tying in together. Okay. So Doria started to enjoy herself. Doria and Meghan often went on foreign tours, spent holidays on the islands, visited expensive restaurants, and their life was interrupted only by Thomas, who constantly called and begged to be allowed to see Meghan, who had no great desire to meet her father. So, of course, when mommy had the money and was doing all this stuff, she stuck with mummy, and when she was with her dad, he took care of all her stuff and daddy was the best. We see where it all began from. But as usually happens, the higher a person rises, the more painful it will be to fall. Doria, who was tired of the eternal harassment by Thomas, decided to get rid of him. Since, as we have already written, the travel company was officially owned by Thomas, Doria decided to create problems for him by not paying taxes. In America, tax evasion is a serious crime. Now, a lot of us were wondering why Doria went to jail. I think this could be it, and not for substances or other things, because the US doesn't screw around when it comes to paying taxes, guys. In America, tax evasion is a serious crime and you can go to jail for it. And since he already had a suspended criminal record, Doria expected to put her ex husband behind bars for a long time. What a B. Harry, if you don't think this is going to happen to you, you're screwed, buddy. If you don't do something, you are completely screwed. So Doria wanted to do something to put her husband behind bars, the man that was providing for her entire life. Now, you see how short-sighted Doria is, in my opinion, which is exactly the same way Meghan Markle is, super short-sighted. Had Doria done something to put Thomas Markle in jail, who would be paying for your extravagant life that you'd be living right now? If Thomas went to jail, you think you'd be getting all these trips and everything on his dime? She clearly doesn't think of what's going to happen and what the consequences are. And the same thing is with Meghan. She does the exact same thing also. She does something without thinking what the long-term consequences will be. But let me keep going. Doria expected to put her husband behind bars for a long time. By doing so, she was going to kill two birds with one stone, not paying taxes and putting the responsibility on Thomas, who was so annoying her with his desire to see his daughter. But as the Russian proverb says, do not dig another hole, you will get into it yourself. So not everything happened the way Doria Raglan wanted it to. From witnesses, the tax service learned that it was she who is solely engaged in the affairs of the firm, which according to documents belong to Thomas Markle. The case was referred to the criminal police department and then to court. While the investigation was underway, Thomas re-raised the issue of custody of Meghan. He had a great family, all the members of which, including Samantha, filed papers so that at least one of them could get custody. However, this was not necessary. Thomas went through all the humiliating procedures in drug and psychiatric hospitals and proved his legal capacity. The jury decided in his favor. Meanwhile, Doria, who faced 15 years in prison for a crime, received 4 in prison for financial fraud, thanks to the good soul of Thomas, who hired her a good lawyer. So after all the shit that Doria did, Thomas still stood by her side so that she wouldn't have to rot there in cell block 6 for 15 years. That man. But why is that Thomas, who has been treated unfairly all his life, and his family silent about the antics of unscrupulous Doria Raglan, who is the only one dear to the Duchess of Sussex? Quite interesting, right? Wild. Isn't that crazy? But then you guys, let me pull up what Yankee Wally had shared with us from Montecito Smoke and Mirrors, and it gives you some information about the house. And this is very interesting. This is just like, oh my God, it's nuts. Let me find it here. Okay, so this is old. This is really old. You will see this is from Crystal Martin back in the day. Yankee Wally had kindly shared this, and well, I just had 2 brain cells enough to actually save this. So this was from Quora back in the day. And I had to, this was all apart. So I had to find piece by piece. So I have, here's the first part. And then hold on, let me see if I have the second part here. Is that the same one? Here, I think this one. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, that's part 2. And this is part 3. So I think this one would be better to share because my old ass eyes are getting bad. But let's look at this. So I feel bad. I mean, Thomas Markle, man, he was total like pushover. I hate to call him a pushover. He was the ultimate nice guy, and he got totally railroaded by this con artist who never wanted to work a day in her life. I mean, trust me, if Thomas Markle had found a good woman, he would have been appreciated. He would have been definitely appreciated. Every woman wants a man who will take care of the household and back up their wife and everything. And Doria got it, but she never appreciated it. And that is where Meghan gets it from, in my opinion, my friends. Emma, look, I'm wondering the same thing as you, my friend. I'm wondering how the hell MI5 or MI6 let them all into the royal family with all this bullshit out there. It's wild. But let me get into what Crystal Martin had shared on Quora, I think it was, or I forget what it was, but this is all thanks to Yankee Wally. And if it wasn't for Wally, then I wouldn't have these. But let me tell you what it said. So Crystal Martin had shared this back in the day, and it was dated on February 2012. And this is crazy. So this is about the house. They're talking about the house. So Alvin Azel Ragland had only 2 natural born children. So they're talking about Doria's father. So take all this. I should just say this before I start. Just take this all by a grain of salt. This is all allegations, and these are all the words of someone else and not mine. There. So Doria L. Ragland and Alvin Joffrey Ragland. So here they're going to call him Joffrey just to keep it easy. And Irene, thank you so much for the super chat there, my friend. She says, glad we can super chat again. Welcome back, Molly. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. And that was so kind of you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's get into this shit show right here, guys, because this is a mess. And make sure you hit that like button, my friends, because you guys have been here for over 40 minutes and I must be, well, almost an hour now, and I must be doing something good if you guys are listening still. Just a couple more things to go through and then we'll wrap it up. But here we go. Get ready to clutch your pearls. So Doria Ragland is the mother of the girl who married UK Prince Harry in May of 2018. Her name is Meghan Markle. Alvin Joffrey Ragland, brother of Doria Ragland, is a quiet, unsuspecting, easygoing, self-trained, creative artist, not highly educated, asks no questions type of guy. Does what he's told and is an early 20th young boy. Alvin Azel Ragland was found March of 2011, so Doria's father, unresponsive on the property he resided at 5127 Angeles Vista, with several blunt trauma wounds to his head, not consistent with a single flat surface fall from a dog leash. He passed away March 12, 2011. The dog leash information story was given by Doria Ragland according to hospital records. Death certificate related documents was signed by Doria Ragland as well. On 1/19/2012, the LA Superior Court case number 128839 granted, I hope someone searches that or deep dives that if you can, if it's not sealed. But anyways, let me read that again. Case number 128839 granted Doria Ragland and A. Joffrey Ragland each 50% ownership of the residential property, market valued at $889,000, located at 5127 Angela Vista. The property Alvin A. Ragland resided in up to his death, where the head trauma occurred. Doria Ragland lived in a very modest apartment on 7004 Beverly Boulevard, where she lived for several years prior to Alvin A. Ragland's death. She filed for bankruptcy a few years prior, court records show. She immediately moved into the home at 5127 Angela Vista after Alvin A. Ragland's death. She takes full possession of the property. Alvin A. Ragland inherited his 5127 Angeles Vista with no mortgage home from his deceased sister, a big-time realtor, years prior. She too died without a will and testament. On February 12, 2012, a bona fide gift deed is drafted and forged on February 23, 2012, transferring Alvin Joffrey Ragland 50% ownership share of the $889,000 property at 5127 Vista to herself solely. Doria Ragland had a tumultuous relationship with her father. There are multiple court cases where the two bickered over their disputes. It would be interesting to know if the father, Alvin, mentions in any transcripts of the physical harm threats made against him, which may be the cause of his mysterious death years later. We've had difficulties locating the notary who witnessed the 2012 bona fide gift deed. Hold on, it gets kind of skidgy here, but I have it. I found the remaining parts of the story on another page where you guys can see it. This is wild, isn't it? Yeah, Sid Mountaineer, I said the same thing. Absolutely no real investigation. And Civil Defense, thank you for the super sticker. And yes, smash that thumbs up, folks. And I love that you use the Meghan Markle. I love these new emojis. Thank you, friends. And let me find this second page here and we'll get into the rest of it because this is wild, isn't it? Crazy, crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, so let me leave off from where it did. Let me fix my laptop here. Okay. We've had difficulty locating the notary who witnessed the 2012 bona fide gift deed. Hold on. There is a state of California notary renewal in that name, but we cannot find her, and her is in quotations. There is a death certificate for that name with no middle name that predates the signing of that deed. Have not yet determined if it's the same person or not. Meghan Markle and her mother, Doria Ragland, are both estranged from A. Joffrey Ragland. A. Joffrey Ragland, which was the brother, was not invited to the UK Prince Harry wedding in May 2018, nor were any of the other Ragland family members invited. Shy, quiet A. Joffrey Ragland never talked to the news press about the wedding or his no invite. He never attempts to capitalize from his famous relative's wedding. He stays silent. Meghan Markle used this $889,000 value home at 5127 Angeles Vista property as a part of her overall $5 million net worth in a news article in 2017 after the engagement announcement to Prince Harry. When the press refers to Meghan Markle being from an upscaled, affluent California area, this is the home the press is referring to. What is it? This is the home the press is referring to, but actually, Meghan Markle was raised in Compton and only moved to 5127 Angeles Vista address in 2011 with her mother, Doria, after her grandfather's death. From what we can tell from the hospital reports, Alvin A. Ragland had several trauma head wounds spaced far apart. He was found with a dog leash wrapped around one ankle only. No hand, arm, or shoulder scrapes, injuries consistent with a fall to justify his head wounds. He would have had to have at least fallen twice, so he would have had to, hold on, let me read that again. Sorry, guys. He would have had to at least fallen twice, fallen once, stood up, and fallen again in a different direction. A. Joffrey Ragland is younger than Meghan Markle. His father and Markle's grandfather married Joffrey's mother, who was 30 years younger than Alvin A. Ragland. In other words, Meghan Markle is several years older than her uncle Joffrey. Alvin A. Ragland was an older male, a womanizer of younger women, light on his feet, an excellent dancer. Hard to imagine he would trip over his own feet. Because Alvin's cause of death occurred at 5127 Angela Vista property, it would be interesting to know if the liability coverage for the homeowner's insurance policy was activated and who received the funds. A. Joffrey Ragland has no clue he was cheated out of his inheritance from his father. And that is all of everything that I have, my friends. That is everything that I have shared with you guys. And you guys, please share this video out to everyone. People need to be reminded of what is going on here. Alice Sings, thank you so much, my lovely, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. You are so kind. And Marty Brown, thank you. She says, or they say, excellent video, Molly. And I feel like this is why I had to do this video live. Guys, can you hear me? I'm so sorry. I accidentally took myself completely out of the studio. No, I'm not done. I'm here. I had another idiot user problem. And instead, God, you guys got scared and thought YouTube got me. No, YouTube didn't get me. Instead of swiping up on my little mouse pad, I hit the left and just completely wiped myself out of the stream. So silly, silly, silly. Yeah, I'm too excited. I think that's what it is. Sydney Cat, thank you for the super chat. That is very kind of you. Molly, you were silenced. I was silenced. No, guys, I'm good. It was a total idiot user problem. It's just me. I got way too excited. My fingers got too happy. And no, I'm not cooking at the moment. He said, are you cooking too? No, not this time. Not this time. But yeah, I just knocked myself out by accident. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I thought that's pretty funny. It's always interesting here on my channel, isn't it? I always keep it interesting for you folks. Look, Marissa says YouTube be creeping. I don't know. I have a feeling here that that this video has been completely demonetized after everything that I've shared. And I have a feeling that maybe Meghan Markle must be breaking whatever crockery is left at San Ysidro Ranch, because I don't think she's going to be making any appearances in any parking lots, don't you think? I don't think so. After everything I read out and getting horrendously, brutally humiliated at the Golden Globes, I don't think she will be making any lot lizard appearances in anytime soon. Angie Nielsen, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Guys, this was crazy. I think you guys should maybe share this video if you want. Share it everywhere that you can. I think everyone needs to know about the history of Doria, and hopefully I'll keep all this video here. I will keep all the information safe here, and I have a lot of past information that I should start digging up. And Harry, if you are listening to this video, let this be a big red flag for you. You better get your butt on the airplane and you need to file for divorce first, because if Meghan files for divorce first in California, he will be screwed, because he has stupidly gone on air and spoke about all of his substance issues. He has admitted it in writing. It's all in the books. He has said it multiple times. I have mental health problems. I was paranoid. All of this is on record. This stupid idiot spilled all of this on record and made Meghan's life easy for her to take him to the cleaners. And let's be honest, she's got Doria there, so I wouldn't be surprised if Doria's giving pointers also. This is crazy. Angie, don't apologize, my dear. You can catch it on the replay with everyone else. Molly, my late hubby was a cop, and guy said that Alvin's death was shady as fuck. Yeah, it is shady. It's very shady. How do you trip and have a head injury from just a lead being around one ankle? It's unheard of. Everything is very suspicious when it comes to Meghan Markle and Doria. I don't trust those two crazy grifters. I don't trust them at all. Can we, Susu Forever says, can we order the autopsy report? I will go digging into my files, because now that my computer is all booted up, I'm going to go through all of the archives here. And Harry, man, you in danger. You're, as Jamba says, dude, you're in real danger. You need to run. You need to run. Get those children into a box and get them overseas. I don't know what you do, but just leave. Don't leave anyone. Thomas Markle Jr. warned you guys. Thomas Markle Jr. warned all of us. Meghan Markle should never be left alone in the presence of animal or children. Oh dear, Katie Artist, I missed her super chat. Hold on, let me find it. Oh no. It's moving so fast here. My apologies, guys. I don't mean to miss anything here. Oh, dear. Thank you for the super chat, though. I've got Jat here who says, my grandmother said comes to light one day. Yeah. Anything you do in the dark always comes to light. Whenever you want to be a grifter or whatever, it'll come to light. Lisa Quinlan says, thank you. This was incredible. Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that all of you guys enjoyed this. Oh, dear. I don't see it. Oh, I'm sorry, Katie. I'm so sorry that I missed your super chat. But yeah, guys, I wanted to share this video. I think I'm going to start digging through the rest of the archives and see what I come up with. But now we know about, Cell Block 6 Doria. And how did the brother get scammed from the house? I don't think the brother knows he got scammed from the house, because remember, the title deed was a fraud. and it all got moved over to her name. And I've always wondered why they don't say anything. And it makes me wonder, is Doria so dangerous that the family is afraid to speak up? Because who knows what she could do. And now that she's got Meghan's money behind her, they're probably even more intimidated. And I'm just saying, if anyone on the Raglan family want to speak out anonymously, I will share your story for you. I will sit down with my lawyers and pass everything through them, and whatever can be shared, I will share for you if you don't want to come out and speak about it. My channel is here for you to get your voices out. I'm not here to silence anyone. I'm here to let the people share their voice and their stories. And if someone wants to forward this entire video to Samantha's lawyers, go ahead. But I've got a lot more stuff. And Angie Nielsen, I will send me an email, Angie, and I will reach out to you. MeghansMole@gmail.com. The information is also in the description box below. Susan, see, this is the thing. I've read that she's done between 4 to 10. I've heard 6. The number 6 be thrown around. I've heard the number 2 be thrown around. I've heard many numbers. And you know what? You got to chalk it up to Thomas Markle, because he probably had all of this sealed so no one could get to it. Marty Brown, you're asking, how do I become a member on my iPhone? I don't know if you can become a member on your iPhone. I think you have to do it on an actual desktop, because when I click on it on my phone right here, it doesn't come up for me. So I don't think it's possible. That's why yesterday when I was messing around on my laptop, I accidentally gifted 5 free memberships, but it's all good. But okay, guys, I better get going here. I've got a couple errands to run, and I better start cooking soon for my little one. Susan says HG Tudor said it's 8 years. Yeah, I've heard that. But I don't know. And let's the only way we can figure it out, I guess, is let's keep digging. Let's keep digging, but this is just more information just to remember and to remind everyone what the original stories were before it all got muddled. Right, friends? Okay, my friends, tomorrow, I don't know if I'll do a live around this time like I usually do, because I will be on Paula M's channel with Andrew POV, and I think we make a pretty great trio over there. So if you like, catch me over there. And on Friday, I will be on, oh, what's his name? The Royal Mess channel, the Royal Mess on Sean Atwood's channel. I will be there as well. And yeah, guys, Mole is back, and I have come back with the vengeance, and I am letting all the mess out, and I'm going to be a petty Betty while I do it also. Make sure you share this video with all your friends. And I know you guys always say this, you alone is best. I know, I hear that from a lot of you friends, but sometimes it's nice to be hanging out with other people too. My friends, thank you so much for everyone who sent out a super chat, a super sticker, a PayPal. You really don't have to, but it is appreciated. All I say is that you guys coming here and hitting the like button means more to me than anything. And yeah, you can't put a price on that. Let's be honest. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Make sure you get this video out to the world. Everyone needs to see how shady Cell Block 6 Doria Ragland is, and the truth about her needs to come out. We need to know why we don't know so much about Doria and why we are being hidden information about her. And I will pull up the archives and we'll go from there. But you guys, I will catch you in the next one. I hope you all have an amazing day. Stay gorgeous, my lovelies. Take care. Bye.